unexpected. Next is don't rush. The next step is don't rush. Assuming you want to invest in something and you have learned that, by the way, there is a hot deal there, chigwa leero, don't just rush. No, have a night sleep over it. Sleep over it. Just think, am I investing my money in the right thing? Is there no other venture where I could deposit this money other than here? Can't my money bring more returns if I put it in this other than this? Don't just rush because they've told you there is a hot what? Hot deal. Next is make room for fun. You're still young people. When you save, you'll end up cheating yourself, okay? So have a budget, and in your budget, please have that room for what? For fun. And I don't expect you to save. If you save 10%, again, don't say, okay, if I'm saving 10% per month, then I should have fun worth maybe 8%. No, you're cheating sincerely. Room for fun should be there, but it can't be like competing with the savings, okay? Yes. Then next step is it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to make what? Oftentimes it's okay to make mistakes. Oftentimes we make mistakes in life. They could be personal, they could be financial, they could be in relationships, but we all make what? Mistakes, because we are human. But once you have made a mistake, please acknowledge that you've made a mistake, try to gather yourself up, and then rise up again. It will be very unfortunate if you remain down there where you've fallen. So in business, if you're to invest, if you're to do anything to succeed, if you want to have financial discipline, just realize your mistake and pick up yourself. So now we want to look at personal finance habits everyone should follow, including me. Personal finance habits everyone should follow. The other ones were steps. 1, start by spending less than what you earn. Do you know what you earn? Do you know how much you spend? You know how much you spend? Honestly, you don't know. Who tells me that they record even the data, airtime, border, all that money? You do? Bana, you're wonderful. Let's clap for her. Yes, she's serious with life. She also does. Please tell us. She also raised her hand. How do you do it? Ochikolo here.
Well, to begin with, let's say, for instance, if I took a border in the morning, and then let's say from Chebanda to here it was a 3K. So the 5K, sorry, because maybe I'm having 5K, the 2K that remains on top of it, I go and save. And then also when I was a student at my career, I was a government-sponsored student. So every semester would be given like allowance, 700K. So I'd pick 200K, I'd save per semester, and then for all the transactions that I would make, the coins, the balances on top, I would save all that. Yeah.
This is wonderful. Let's clap for her. Who else saves and they want to share how they save? Do you save? Or you want to tell us lies?
Thank you. For starters, I have a very bad financial record. I spend a lot, but I try my level best to save.
Okay.
I have a savings circle I entered with my mom. It's in the village. Monthly or weekly? Weekly, we save 10,000. So in a month, that is 40. Then I don't have a stable source of income, but then I work in the gig economy. So whenever I get a gig, I try to save. Initially, it was 50%. Then when things got hard, I keep chipping off on my savings. which is a bad thing.
It is bad.
Yes, but Agatha is my friend and she's great at saving, so I intend to learn
You
from her.
try to copy notes.
Yes.
Great. Okay, members, let's save, at least you're hearing these examples from you yourselves. She had her hand raised first, then I'll come back to you. Yes, please, tell us your financial discipline. Do you save? How do you do it?
I'm a student, I'm a third-year student. I don't have a stable source of income. But at the beginning of this year, I entered a money round with my friends. We are 6. And every time I call home for upkeep, they send me like 100K. We give in 50,000 every month. So like we have a list whereby each person gets that money every month. So in that long run, you realize you're saving. So in October, it's me who will be receiving. We are 6 people and we are paying 250,000.
And what do you intend to do with that round when you receive?
When I receive? Oh, well, at my, in Barra, I'm from Barra University. So I'm intending to start a mobile money using Quick Teller. Like I already have some other 700 on my bank account. So when I receive that money, I'll top up to make 1 more, and I'll start a mobile money within my whole of residence.
That's very good. Let's clap for her. You know, the challenge we have is when we share that money in rounds, we just have fun with the money. That's when you think of going to KFC, Cafe Java's. Was your hand up? Okay, then I'll stop with her.
Well, my name is Sarah.
Yes, Sarah.
Well, when I was still at campus,
members at the front, we want to listen to Sarah.
When I was still at campus, I would save, every semester. For the 6 semesters, I was a government student too. So literally every semester, I would remove 150, and then I would buy sheep. We have a sheep project in the village. So literally, I would put that money to buy sheep, so they reproduce. So for the 6 semesters, I would get like 6 sheep and they reproduce, something like that. So now I'm out of school, I have to start looking for something, then I can.
So how many sheep do you have now?
I have like 7. Like the ones that grow, I sell them, something like that, or the lambs.
This is an investor for real. So let's clap for her. So those of us who have wasted our monies, I think you've heard from the colleagues who have saved, not so? Let's try to do something with our money. You know, a money is a visitor. You either treat that money well, or you mistreat them and they do what? They disappear. Next, track your income and expenses. This is related to the first one. Do you track your record? Do you have a record, a clear record of how you spend and how you earn? Yeah, I just want to give you an assignment. Just try it. Start this week. Even if you bought an exercise book, just draw a margin. Put on one side expenses and on the other side put income. You should be able to follow, even if you've spent on food, even if you've spent on border B, even if you've spent on anything, put it there. At the end of the month, you might be shocked and wonder, how do I survive every day? Where do I get the money from? Your expenditures might shock you. Next, be careful not to overspend on gifts. Now, this era here, you know gifts, birthday, baby shower, bridal shower, what else? Graduation. What else do you spend on? Thanksgiving. Some of you even want to buy gifts. You want to go to that party or wedding. You want to go to that wedding and you have the biggest gift, as if they're also going to gift you for bringing the biggest. You're wasting your money. You have not budgeted for this. You're just there. But what will they say? Who will say? Who gave you the money? Spend according to your budget. Stop overspending on what? On gifts. Next, never buy on impulse. Always have a shopping list. I would like to have all ladies in the room raise up your hands. If you have never bought an item on impulse, put down your hand. On impulse, yes. You see, we are almost, most of us are what? Are victims. You see an item, and there you feel, there and then, that you need it. You're like, sincere, I have for so long longed for this item. See how this hawker has even come my way. I really need it. But you don't have it in your budget. Are there any of you who have children? You have. There are some of you who have children. Those of you with children, then you're the worst. You see a man moving around with rattles, those things that make noise for babies. You're like, bring that one. I think it will be good for my baby. Bring that one. But have you budgeted for it? You're spending on impulse. You're spending because you have seen an item. I'll give you an example. Me, I enjoy using myself as an example because I don't want you to fall victims. And if I use other people's examples, they might say, that person talked about me during the training. At one time, we were staying a bit far, and I wanted to go for Mass at Christ the King. I didn't have transport. So my husband gave me 50K. And he told me, please, it's the only money I have to start the week. Make sure I bring back the what? Did I? Just guess what happened. So, as I was moving from the old tax park towards Christ the King, somewhere where there is centenary, I saw this beautiful dress in a shop. I had by then one daughter, and she was just 2 years. I said sincerely, look at this beautiful dress. Where will I find it? I ended up going to the shop. I even arrived for Mass late. Entered the shop and bought the what? So I went to the church. I didn't have money for offertory. I didn't have money to take me back. But my heart was somewhere happy, like, yeah, at least my girl has gotten what? So reaching home, balance. You can imagine what happened. They asked for balance and you presented dress. So please, stop buying things on impulse. You should have a plan. Next, saving should save part of your income for retirement. Are you aware that all of us shall grow old? Now you're there, you don't think about retirement, but it's coming and it will come. You look at your parents and say, you'll also grow old. Eh? Plan for retirement. Don't become a burden to your kids. You know, when people grow old, they think it is mandatory for the young ones to take care of them. Not so. It's not written anywhere, but for you it was a must because you brought this person into this world. So, don't be there, start cursing your own. You know, you dressed indecently. You wore one type of shoe. You had on the one dress. You start cursing your own children because they are not taking care of you. It's not mandatory. It's not recorded anywhere. Do your best and plan for your retirement because you will grow old at one time. And sometimes retirement even comes earlier than we think. For example, COVID. Did some people retire during COVID? However young, they did what? They retired. Many people are still gnashing up to today because they lost their jobs during COVID period. So what have you planned? If you're employed and you lose that job, how will you survive in the next years to come? The other personal habit we need to adopt is keep money in your wallet to the minimum. Who of you here has a job? Who works? Please don't be shy because I'm going to ask you questions. But obviously I am because I don't need to talk to myself. Okay, I've forgotten my mic, but you can share. Please share with us. How much money do you have in your wallet now?
15,000 Kenya shilling.
15 what?
1,000.
15,000 Kenya shilling. Are you sure it is only 15? Even the loose change is not there? She's not sure. You know what? There is something surprising. Oftentimes we walk with those handbags, but we don't know how much money is there. Exactly, like how much is there. even considering the loose change. So who can tell me how much exactly they have? How much do you have? And if we check now, we can find that exact amount. Even the coins, how much? Oh, my dear, you need to work hard if you know how much you have. Anyway, avoid moving with a lot of money. Money, I don't know what happened to money. Money is like itching your pockets. It can be like itching your bag. The more you have, the more you do what? So, if you're going on a journey, please plan that this is the much amount I need to travel with. After that amount, put in miscellaneous of a given amount. Don't just put, for example, if you know where you're going, you need to spend 50,000. Why put miscellaneous of 30 and now you have 80? Sincerely, why? Because you'll still go back home without it. Money can be tempting. So, always keep money in your wallet to the minimum. This applies to the she and the he. Negotiate whenever an opportunity presents itself. Hey, some of us are like, let me borrow this Chiganda saying. There is a saying which I will literally translate, which says that the rich, those loaded men, don't bargain. Whether you give them beef which has a lot of fat, whether what, they'll just do what? They'll just take. So literally in Luganda it is wegaga sango mwavatale ya masavu. So please save, save, save. Whenever, you know, you will feel hurt when she goes to the butcher and then she asks, how much is a kilo of meat? And they tell her maybe 15,000. And she just says, okay, give me 5 kilos. I'll just take 5 kgs. Then another one comes. When this one is still there, then she comes. How much is a kilo? They say 15. Then she starts, please, at least you reduce for me. Let me take, at least you reduce. However little, reduce. When she negotiates, they can say, okay, bring 13. Then the man will ask, how much are you taking? Half a kilo. Do you know how bad this person will feel? You've paid more money and yet you're taking more what? Meat. This one who is taking less has bargained and they've reduced the what? The price. So let us negotiate whenever an opportunity presents. Don't assume that you have. You know, for example, those of you who don't have children, it is okay, you'll have them at one time. But if you have a child, they feel happy with however small an item you've gone back home with. Even if you bought Gorilla for 500, they'll still feel happy. And no one will say, Mommy, why did you bring this and why didn't you bring the other? So you're throwing away money when you don't negotiate. That 500 can buy you something and you go back home with it and people will be happy. It makes a difference. Next, make a budget and faithfully follow it. It is hard. Making a budget is easy, but following it is what? Hard. But let's try. Make a budget and faithfully do what? Follow it. Next is a challenge for the he's. Oftentimes, men go for those things of betting. Please avoid the lottery. Don't spend your money. You think the person who put there that fortune bet or what is not also planning to make money from you. So why do you go on scratching those things? You're wasting money. Please plan for your money. Okay? Record keeping is important if you're to become financially disciplined or stable. Keep your records. I already told you, go back today, make a list of expenditures and savings. Then resist from the urge of tapping into your emergency fund for non-emergency. Oftentimes we have, if I may ask, how many of you here have an emergency fund? An emergency fund is supposed to be 4 times your salary. And you don't touch that money, your earnings, 4 times, and you don't touch it for non-emergency what? Things. So how many of you have not touched that emergency fund for the last 1 year? You touched it. Mwaje kuteko. You don't have. But it is something you can think of. For example, God forbid, in case you broke your leg and you don't have anyone to support, where would you get the funds to treat yourself? Then you would touch on the emergency what? Fund. But some of you, when you have, for example, the child is going back to school, you have a temptation to touch on the emergency fund for non-emergency issues. For example, when kids break off, you know they will at one point do what? Go back. So why would you touch on the emergency fund for non-emergency issues? That is not right. And lastly, spend more on needs. A need is something that you must have than on wants, something that you desire to do what? To have. For example, you could have a phone. It could be a smartphone because you need to be tech savvy, you need to probably use it in different ways. But if you have that simple phone, worth about, how much? 30? Is there a smartphone for 30? How much? How much? 300. Okay. If you have a smartphone worth 300,000, why would you need, and it is doing you a good job, why would you need the one of 1,000,000 or 800? Pictures. Okay, pictures. Another one. Why would you need the one of 1,000,000? Storage. Another one. Say, but why would you need one of 1M as opposed to 300? You already have your doubts. Yes, please. Eh? Nature of work. If you're using it for work, it is very okay. If you can afford, it is very okay. But if you're borrowing to buy such a phone, if you're begging and you can't afford, you're only begging to raise money for that kind of a phone, please revisit your strategy. Live within your means. Hold the phone that you can afford, okay? Don't steal because you need a better phone, yet you can't afford it. I'd like to end this bit of financial discipline by borrowing examples from a hen. I believe we all know hens, not so? We all know hens. There is this powerful analogy of the hen that I want to use. A hen first lays her eggs before she sits on them. That is good planning. Some of you want to reap what you didn't sow. You want to get things that you have not worked for. Please, first work, have good planning, okay? Then when she starts sitting on her egg, she minimizes movements. Some people enjoy moving. You hear there is this, you're there. There is that buzz, you go. There is this, you go. When will you ever settle in your business yet you started a business? And who understands your business better than you who started it? Then after some 2 years, you say, my business is failing. Why? It is you. Next, the hen will physically lose weight while sitting on her eggs due to decreased feeding. There we learn self-sacrifice and self-denial. When you start a business, try to desist from certain things, certain happenings. Let them go. Let it be. You're not like a soda that even without you, the function can't end. Yes, some of you want to be like soda. You want to be everywhere. Please, don't be everywhere. You can never be everywhere. You can't. So if you have started a business, give it time. Have self-denial, self-sacrifice so that your business can grow. Next, she can sit on her eggs for another hen. She can sit on eggs for another hen. Indiscrimination and generosity. That's what we learn from that aspect. Are there businesses that you think are for the other people and you can't attempt them? Yes. But are you aware that there are people making serious monies out of those jobs that you think are So don't discriminate. For as long as it is a job where you can earn a living and it is not bad by law, please go for it. Don't discriminate. Next, she detects unfertilized eggs and rolls them out. That means she's sensitive and discerning. Some of you don't know even your business. When you start your business, other people will understand it for you. Yes, better than yourself. Yet you initiated the business. You're the business proprietor. But other people know it more than you do. So, be alert. Then she abandons the rotten eggs and starts caring for the hatched ones. That is wisdom. Have a sense of humor. Have a sense of understanding. Understand your business. No one will understand it more than you do. No one touches her chicks. She's protective and loves them. You start a business. You bring, it is okay to work with relatives, by the way. But you bring untrained, unqualified relatives. You bring your sister, your brother, your uncle, your who into your business. They are not trained. They are definitely going to make you lose your business. Then she gathers all her chicks together. That is unity and purpose. When you start something, bring people who know what they are doing, but bring them on board. She cannot abandon her chicks before they are mature. That is mentorship. Even you, when you start your business, please don't abandon it until when you feel your business is now what? Stable. Then she sits on her eggs for 21 days, patiently waiting. Even if they do not hatch, she will lay eggs again. That we learn to have faith, hope, and not get discouraged. Oftentimes you start businesses. You may get discouraged along the way. Please don't lose hope. Don't lose the faith. You'll make it one day. Even Rome wasn't built in one day. There are sayings for wise people like Zig Ziglar. He says, it was character that got us out of bed, commitment that moved us into action, and discipline that enabled us through. Sincerely, it is discipline. It is because of that you're able to be here, that you woke up and you're here. Who of you was keen to come here today? But unless you make it a habit that I really must perform, I need to add value to myself, you'll not go anywhere. So there is character, commitment, discipline, all put together. If you start a business, you need all these aspects. Then Jesse Owens says, we all have dreams, but in order to make dreams come into reality, it takes an awful lot of determination, dedication, and self-discipline. Again, we go back to the self-what? Discipline. You need discipline even at your job. When you start a business, don't say, after all, I don't report to anyone. I'm free to go. I'm free to do whatever I want. No. You must be disciplined. And then Jim says, we must all suffer one or two things, the pain of discipline and the pain of regret. Regret and disappointment. Who of you wants to be disappointed in life? No one. So why don't you choose and choose wisely? Then I'll briefly talk about investment. The onset of the new poor. You know, the old poor person was known to be like this one. You would have a shoe like that. Not so. Now the modern poor person is like this. They'll be very decent and you're like, that one is not poor. You can't tell me. You even find decent guys stealing when they are the crooks in town. So when you don't have financial discipline, you'll end up disguising like this. You'll be the poorest, but when you're able to afford a shoe, you can afford a decent dress, but when you're seriously dying in there. So please don't disguise. Accept that I have a challenge. There's something I need to put together and do what? And move on. Then we have these generational kinetics. At 25, you're like, we shall save when we are older. How many of you are saying like that? It's not yet time for you to save, not so. Hey, we shall save when we are older. Then at 35, we shall cross the bridge when we get there. I'll save maybe after 40. You think 40 won't come. And every year you're there celebrating birthdays. My dear, there is no time. Start saving now. Then at 55, Mose is like, I should have started saving at 23. Just imagine that regret. And you can't catch up with the years, by the way. Every other day you're growing older. At 65, I'm in the hands of God. My children and grandchildren will look after me. You know how people surrender? So please don't wait for that time to regret and surrender. You can still make it. You can do something, save and start investing right away. Don't wait for that moment when you're going to be like, I'm in the hands of God. Sincerely, why would you leave the rest to God? There are so many things where you can invest. Think of real estate, think of fixed deposits, treasury bills. These things, by the way, make money. The bonds, you could go into agriculture, anything, name it. They are fast-moving consumer goods. There are some people I like, they just seize the moment. For example, when they have a season, like Christmas is coming around the corner, you see them switching and selling things that are seasonal to do with what? Christmas. They know there is money fast selling goods. But if you're there waiting for God to save, then there are also now other opportunities. For example, we have a gift of nature. There are big arable land, favorable climate. What are you doing about it? You just say Uganda is good. But you're not doing anything about it. You're there praising the good climate. Economics. People are trading as far as Kenya, Sudan, where. For you, you're there seated. Mukamba tuyambe. Actually, they call upon Muzei. Not so. Everything, President, come and save the situation. Will he come to your house? You have 2 hands, you have 2 legs, and 1 head. Think and do something. So there are so many opportunities around us. I want to end with this anatomy of this great investor who saved us during COVID. He said, your competition isn't other people, but you. I would like all of you to mention that. Number 1, let's all read it. Your competition isn't other people. Yeah, but who? Yes. Even as you point like this, all these other fingers are pointing at you. So some of you look at your friends as competition, but your challenge is you. Next, competition is so and so. Then procrastination. We all know what procrastination means. You fail to do something at the right time when you ought to do it, and you say, but I think I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it later. That is for next week. Why don't you do it there and then and get it out of the way? Stop procrastinating. Then your ego. Some of you have ego. Some people have ego. They're like, I can't do that. I can't. Sincerely, for heaven's sake, I have a degree. I've gone to school. How do I do that kind of job? But you need to earn. Then the unhealthy food you are consuming is also a problem. Like what? Like rice. You know better. The knowledge you neglect to learn, okay? You know, knowledge, no one is an epitome of knowledge. I'm glad you've been such an active class. But if I'm to set a test at the end of this session, you'll be shocked. Yes, the knowledge you neglect to learn. So others have seen the dress, others have seen the lady baga, mukaza alegese bambi. Then others have picked something. So at the end of the day, when you ask, by the way, what have you learned from today's session? Sincere, the lady talked. She talked, she really talked. Talked to what? She can't express. So the knowledge you neglect to learn is also a challenge. The lack of discipline, we've talked about financial discipline. The distractions, you have quite a number of distractions. And this day and era, it is too much. Distraction with our phones, distraction with the laptops, distraction with the environment, name it. Then your bad habits, everyone knows their other side. We don't want to know, not so. Your bad habits are also failing you from moving on. Then the negative behavior you are nurturing within you. You can be there saying, at our home, by the way, no one has a car. I don't think I'll even ever get one. For you, you're there already nurturing a bad attitude within you. Who says you can't make it? You know, we are all made unique. We are all different. So use the uniqueness in you to make a difference. Then your self-doubt. Some of you can be there and you're like, but sincerely, I'm just a lady. Will I make it? Will I make it? I think this is hard. This is complicated. no one should tell you that you can't make it. So we've been able to learn a lot from this great investor who saved us from COVID. And I just wish to end there. If you have any questions, you're most welcome. To use the time, you told me 10, 11. Yes, questions?
Thank you so much. My name is Tuseme Fortunate Agnes, and my question is, like, how am I able to know that I am financially disciplined even when I do not have a salary or a business? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Agnes. Just take the few hints that I gave you. For example, keep records. When you have records, they will be able to tell you that, yes, you're financially disciplined out of the meager resources that you receive. You don't have a salary, but I know you receive some income. Who gave you money for the salon? I see the hair looks fresh. Did you take note of that? So indicate, if you receive, even if it is from your BF income, you say, okay, received this much. Expenditure, I asked for 100 for salon, he gave me, but I spent 50. Then you have some balance. Please, just take the notes I've given you. You'll be able to know you're financially disciplined or not.
Okay, like you talked about, okay, like this, there's something you skipped and I had interest in it, the unit trusts. First of all, how do I choose the right unit trust? And what are the risks involved in it? And can I get more information about it?
On my second last slide.
Yeah.
Okay. Unit trusts are good. It is also another way of saving what? Money, of investing money. They are good. I thought I had indicated them on my, they are there. Unit trusts are really good. It is one way of saving money. But how do you identify one that is good or better than the other? It's just like telling you, how do you know that I'm saving with the right bank and not the wrong bank? Or it's rather like telling you, how do I know that I've gotten the right guy and not the wrong one? Please do some research. Read. Read about the different offers that these different unit trusts offer. Read at their offerings and you see which one is best. Otherwise, they are a good source of investment. Yes, Hajat. Is it on? Your friends need to hear you.
You talked about setting priorities. I may set a priority, however, it changes amidst my journey. But it's also, I switch to another priority. So having changing priorities, am I being financially indisciplined?
What do you think? Having changing priorities, is she being financially indisciplined? You want to answer her before I do? Okay, I think it is okay to have priorities. However, you should also have a mentor in your journey. Share with somebody after setting your list of priorities. Then they should be able to guide you that this list I think lacks because of ABC. Otherwise, if you talk to somebody and somebody has guided, you won't change your list of priorities. You can't start in Jan and say, I've started with, say, with what? What would be your number one on priority? Academic. You can't put number one as academic and along the way you fall pregnant. You become pregnant in the second year. That means your priorities have changed. So stick to your priorities and seek guidance.
I wanted, like, how can you overcome, like...
It's okay. I stop with that? Okay. We have 3 more. So the 3 who have raised up their hands are the ones I'm coming to. 1, 2, 3, and we close it. Because of time, you know the program is tight, okay?
Like when someone asks you for some help, but you have the money you have saved, but you tell the person you don't have money, then that guilt makes you...
My dear, you won't develop if you're guilty. You can't keep dishing money. Is it on your list? Did you I said 1, 2, 3. Was it you? Okay. You don't have money to spend anyhow.
I wanted to find out which is the better way to save money. Is it in form of cash or assets?
If it is saving, you save in form of cash and later on invest. Yes, you invest in assets or anything.
All right, thank you. I have 3 questions.
3? But we are short of time. Please ask one and then he asks one.
All
We'll
right.
have another time maybe.
All right, okay. So, can you help me provide some more books or websites or other resources you would recommend me for further learning about my personal finance and investment?
Okay, I will. At least those people I've quoted can also, they have very good info about that. Start with those.
What steps can I take to mitigate risks associated with investing?
What steps can I take to mitigate the risk associated with? Okay, with investing. Investment is a risky venture for sure. But you should look at the pros and cons. Understand the kind of business you're going into. By the way, the higher the risk, sometimes the better the returns. But understand that where I'm investing, is it really okay that I'll finally get back my investment? There is no specific, like, something specific you should follow, but still you should know the risks involved and those that are not. And then you should also go for investments that are legal. When you invest in something that is illegal, you're bound to lose. One last one, okay?
Hello.
Yes, please.
I'd love to know how Centenary Bank helps the youth.
Okay. One last question. She would like to know how Centenary Bank supports the youth. Centenary Bank, first of all, has different products. The first one, we have an account, a charge-free account. You open with 5,000, no monthly charges. That is one way of helping you to save. Some of you may not have savings accounts, but we have an account for the youth where we don't have any ledger fees that we charge. Then we also offer free financial literacy. Once you have an organized group for youth, you invite us, we'll be there to talk to you and guide you and see you through. There's so many challenges you're facing. Then we also have cheap loans. That's another way, apart from financial literacy. Cheap loans where you can take a loan as low as 15%. As a youth, we know you've not worked a lot. You don't need these interests with high interests, loans with high interest of say 25, 30%, they are cheap loans. So please, you can as well visit the bank. I could provide my number in case of anything, since I told you I work for the young people and with the young people. It is 774-494-880. You have a challenge with Centenary Bank, any branch, we are always there. 774-494-880. My name is Prosi. Thank you so much. I would really love to say more and more, but please accept, owing to the time, allow us end here. I want to thank you once again. You've been such a lovely and attentive audience. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Prosi. Once again, please let us applaud her. It has been a very, very great session, very thrilling. How many do you want Prosi again? How many want Prosi again? All of us. Here is the key. Here is the key to having Prosi again. You have to work very hard and be among the top winners. So we bring her in the incubator. You have to work very hard. Thank you so much, Prosi. Okay, so we have next, I don't want to take much time. Let us stand up as Cleopatra comes in front to take us through the next session. We stand up and stretch and swing our hands around. Cleopatra, you're most welcome. So next, Cleopatra is going to be taking us through our presentation. So your presentations are here. You can all see your teams. So when you come here, you click on your team and you take us through your diagrams. We can take our seats.
Thank you so much, Charlotte. Good morning. Stretch. You need to stretch. I didn't see you stretching. I saw people standing. Are we standing? Are we stretching? Who stretched? Can somebody show us how to stretch? Somebody. Anybody who does yoga, aerobics, Jalagata. Show us how to stretch. Real quick. So we start the fire session. Okay? Okay, let's all do that. Because we are going to be pointing and touching and trying to explain ourselves. Let's get up and do that. What is that move called? Arm stretch. Okay, let's do that. Let's get up. Ladies, come on, come on. You need that energy for the next fire session. Let's stretch. Ivan to the front. Come, real quick. Real quick. It's called the arm stretch. Have you done it? Simon wants to do the leg stretch. Amazing. Hands in, hands out. Wow. Thank you so much, Ivan. Team Agam. So when you're called up here, yeah, just like you see the folders. So we're going like this. Okay? Your diagrams, real quick. Explain them. The customer user map. The prototypes, I hope you have them. I've not seen them. You're still working on them? Okay. But there's a penalty, right? You know that? No. Yeah, but you'll continue working. So present what you've submitted. You have 4 minutes.
All right, my question is, yesterday we received the message in group that was saying today we should be able to have the diagrams and a prototype. Now, I got somehow confused on what you meant by prototype. Because a prototype, I thought it would be maybe a simple running version of the project itself. So, and yet last time when you left, you were like, we are going to have wireframes and mock-ups. So I really got confused. Please, may you clarify on that? Thank you.
Okay, Dorothy, let me take that. First and foremost, team, if you will, who is your team leader? Okay, we have a group for team leaders. All these questions are supposed to be asked there so that you get clarifications, because you're asking a right question but at the wrong time. We have been, Cleopatra shared what you are supposed to, and those who had questions asked. So the prototypes, they are not the demos. If you have a demo, it's fine, but you can show us your prototypes, the designs. That's gone.
Good morning. So this is Team Agam, and we are presenting the solution design, the diagrams. This is the use case. The user, if in case the user goes to the menu and selects finance management knowledge, the request is sent to the database or the admin in the back end of Agam, and then the database responds to the user with the request. So here, this is the menu. So let's say the user selects to buy anything. The database responds. The user selects the database. When the database responds, the user goes to the next page. The user selects an item. The user confirms, and when after confirming, they finish to order and then they pay. When they make a payment, the database informs the farmer. Oh, sorry. So when they make the payment, the database informs the farmer to organize the order. Then the farmer responds, it's finished. The database or the admin communicates with the transporter to pick up the order for the client. After picking it up, the transporter delivers the order, and the user confirms it's delivered. So this is the customer journey map.
The customer journey map just shows the journey through which the customer passes through to acquire the item. It shows the awareness, the consideration, what the customer considers when she's going to buy the item, during the purchase period, when she checks out the item. It shows the service when she's using Agam. Then it shows the delivery time.
Kindly give her attention, please.
It shows the delivery cost, and it shows the feelings, how the customer feels when using the item.
So this is the user flow diagram. The customer opens the application for Agam or the web application. It displays the menu. The customer makes a decision on what they want to take. So let's say they go to the financial management information. Okay, actually the user flow shows the user selected to buy anything. So this is the buy anything decision. The customer makes a decision to buy vegetables, and the vegetables are displayed. Then after that, they input the location where the order should be delivered. The database informs the farmer, and the transporter gets the order from the farmer. The farmer makes a delivery, and after making the delivery and the customer confirms, the page takes the customer back to the menu to make any other decision they want. This is the data module.
Right, thank you, thank you.
Welcome.
You go back to the use case. All right, so first exit the slideshow, let me see.
I exit.
Yep. Click on the notes there.
I click on what?
Notes at the bottom. This side, this side.
This one.
No? At the bottom, yeah.
Oh, here.
Okay. So all of you will be seeing such notes. Remember, we are accessing the same link. Eh? So we've tried to make sure we advise you where need be. And you can see that you really don't need a database in the use case diagram. Eh? Ideally also, it's okay for actors to be on one side, but since you don't have that box shape to show us the center or the scope of your system, your actors better be on one side. Okay, so you can go to the other slide. All right, so it is okay, but it's not visually appealing. Eh? Even if you didn't have icons, but when we look at the colors, you can't even share the mood from the start to the end. You click the drop down of the notes. No, click the, what do they call it? That arrow. Click the chevron, yes. So you can see, one, they are all words, two, from left to right. I can't tell where you started. Maybe the awareness could be a warning color. Maybe the end can be a green color.
Okay, so go and work on those, plus your prototypes are missing in the presentation. Okay, yes, the flow diagram, the data model also has some issues. You're going to read the comments there and fix it. If you don't understand what needs to be fixed, you'll find us at the back. Next team, business hub. Business, yes, Bope, one of the teammates, the team leader, went for burial, so we're giving them some allowance. So business banking hub.
Okay, so as Business Banking Hub is getting ready, members, kindly when you're uploading the PowerPoints, don't add cumulatively. Eh? Simply look for the task of the day, share that slide, then tomorrow another task of the day. Then as Charlotte advised, towards the end is when you'll compile them. Okay? All right, you can see that also you trying to look for which slide.
Communication.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
say like, you keep adding it. Okay.
It's okay, it helps us learn.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay, good morning. Good morning. We are starting with our user journey. A bit. Okay. So, as you can see, we start with our customer who's very happy and wants to open up a business, wants to open and manage their business account. Then they search for available options and they're sad because they're hectic and time consuming. Then finds the business banking hub. So registers, logs in,
gets your SB documents, applies for business account, then gets the necessary documents and pays fees, for whatever is needed. And then he can pay for the documents. And then he wants to pay his workers, which he enters their names and money to pay, like in a form, to bulk pay them at once. Then, of course, he's very happy. You can see he's happy throughout. Then wants to pay taxes. So he enters his tax information, then uses the app to pay taxes. Then wants to get more income for the business. Then he sees his credit worth. Then, he's a very happy customer. Okay. No. So I use case diagram, very simple. You sign up, of course, then you can log in, then you can link your account, like your bank account, or create a bank account. Then you can access our menu, which menu has banking and just settings. So when you're banking, when you go to our banking services, you can create invoices, you can pay taxes, you can view your credit worth, you can pay workers, you can apply for documentations, you can also get a lawyer, because remember, this is a whole process for opening up a business account and managing it. Then our user flow, this is how they start. They start, of course, from the starting point. Then if you have an account, you go straight up to logging in. If you do not have an account, you have to sign up. And if you're signing up, are you going to link an account to our application, or are you going to open up a business account, like a business banking account? So going back to logging in, if your credentials are correct, you're going to view your profile page, which you're going to go to. You can also view the menu. On our menu, you have banking, we have services and settings. So on our banking services, you can view your credit worth, you can top up money from your mobile money, you can view your account, you can pay your workers. And then from our services, you can scan your documentation, because of course business is about documents and transactions. Then you can apply for documents, you can view you can get financial documents like invoices and receipts. Yes. And then settings, of course, just normal settings. You can log out, change to dark mode, those things. Then moving on to our data model. Picked out the relevant things. So our customer is going to have the customer ID, which is a primary key, then the name, the email, the phone number. Then our USB documents are going to have a document ID, which is the primary key. It's going to be one customer to many documents. Yeah, you all know what that means. Then the document type, the status, then the mobile money wallet will have a wallet ID and a customer ID as the foreign key. Our invoice will have an invoice ID, sender customer ID, our receiver customer ID, which are all foreign keys.
Thank you, Sunita. Yeah, your time is up. Yeah. So as we're looking through the diagrams, the team and I had a discussion. We're failing to understand what that urgent need was that you were trying to address with the solution, because there's quite a lot that you're trying to do.
Okay. We are trying to make opening up a business account. We're trying to make opening up and managing a business account very easy. Like we had our mentor here, she was taking us through the process of opening an account, what you need, documents. Yeah, so we help with all that. Okay, till the USB part, not all that she said. And then you also manage your account. You can pay your workers, you can view your credit worth, you can pay your taxes, like everything just from your phone. Yes, you can get loans. Yes, you can transfer money from your mobile wallet straight up to your bank account without USDD codes. Yes, USSD, sorry.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah. No, the comments are on the slides.
Okay, thank you so much.
Please look at them, yeah.
This is Team Car Care. Our use case diagram had 3 actors. We have a user who is a car owner. We also have a mechanic and an administrator. So a car owner will log in. They can log in. The login involves different verifications. Then they can view nearby mechanics. They make appointments, but for making appointment, it involves logging in. They can rate a mechanic, view different mechanics, and change location. Then for a mechanic, they can upload mechanic data. They can also view appointments and confirm appointments. Then we have an admin who is the overall manager of the users and the mechanic. Then our user flow diagram. We have a starting point. It is a mobile application, so there is a splash screen. Then there are different tabs: appointment, viewing nearby mechanics, and the overall mechanics. So when one clicks on nearby mechanics, we request that their phone location is on. So there is a decision of is phone location on. If no, you turn it on and come and view the nearby mechanics. If it is already on, you directly proceed to view the nearby mechanics. Then after you have viewed the mechanics, you can do different actions. You can call the mechanic. You can order for that mechanic.
Kindly, let's give our audience.
Then you can also rate the services. So when someone attempts to make a call, there is a decision to find out if you already have airtime or not. So if you already have airtime, you proceed and make the call. If you don't have, you load and try calling again. Then the other way of ordering for a mechanic, someone will click on order. They make a payment. After making the payment, the order is confirmed. They get a receipt and stop. Then this other round of making appointments will require that you log in. So there is a decision of, do you have an account? If yes, you log in. If no, you register. If everything is okay with login, you proceed, you make the appointment, you enter the details, you get a receipt of your payment and stop. Then for our customer journey map, there is a client who is moving so fast, going to meet a client, an important client at office. So they face a dilemma whereby their car breaks down. The expressions, they are worried, they're in panic and very disappointed. So what happens, they get different people around who are going to help push the car. They are happy because they have gotten someone to help them out. Then later they realize that the people who are trying to push are requesting for a lot of money. So they get angry at the money that has been requested. So all of a sudden, the person sees a nearby border man who is passing around, sends the border man to help pick up a mechanic. They are happy they have gotten someone who is bringing them a mechanic. But then later on, they get disappointed at the delay the border man has taken. And then all of a sudden, the border man arrives with a mechanic. They are happy they have seen a mechanic around. They hope their car is going to get repaired. But then, only to find out the mechanic has come without the tools needed. They didn't understand the problem. The car had to carry the tools. So the person is again very annoyed and disappointed. So what happens, that client packed up the car in fear and very angry and very disappointed and decided to board any other car around to go home. So that is the customer journey map we have. Then she can take you through this.
Thank you so much. This is our wireframe is up, and then I'm going to explain. The first picture you're seeing, that is our first page where you can get started. And if you click on started, you go to the next picture you're seeing, where you can be able to view the nearby mechanics, and then you can make appointments, or you can view the overall mechanics that we have. And also we have sponsored mechanics down there, as you can see. So when you click on nearby mechanics, you'll be able to go to the nearby picture where you're seeing. You'll be able to locate, you will be able to locate any nearby mechanics, but you have to turn on your location from your phone. So after turning on your location, it will take you to the nearby mechanics where you're seeing Josh, Francis. So you click the one nearby and you'll be able to view their details, and you click on one. So when you click on one, you'll be required to log in and you'll put your username.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Team Kirk here, right?
Yes.
Let's go back to your user flow. After the splash screen, I'm the user. Where do I go to next? It's pretty confusing. Your user flow diagram. No, not here in the screenshots. Go back to user flow.
So after the splash screen, you land on a page, a home page that has 3 key different tabs. It has nearby mechanics, mechanics and appointments.
Then that should be indicated as a home page. There. Then you decide which side to go. So you go to the data model. The data model, you can slide it up. As you can see, you have primary keys, but we can't see how the tables are linking with no foreign keys, no arrows, no. So is your main table the mechanics table?
Yes.
Okay, so why do we need to have a views table?
We had it for history purposes.
That is metadata.
Shall fix that.
Why do you really need the ratings table?
We also had it for history.
Hmm?
We had it for history so that in
That's
case
also metadata. If you go through modern programming, you don't need such tables. Eh? It's like keeping a session. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kakia. Round of applause. Cyanese. Cyanese. If you will.
Good morning, everyone. Oh, sorry. My name is Mariam Dagire, and I'm from eFuel, and he's called Semakula Peter Waswa. Our journey map. Yes, we have 5 touch points. We start with awareness. Our first touch point is awareness. How are the border riders going to know about our eFuel? We are looking at word on word, like they're being told from other border riders. Then we go to the second step, which is signing up. We are going to have our agent on the fuel station to register the stage so that we have all the information about the specific border riders. Then the third is you go to request for fuel. Border rider is going to dial a code to request for fuel. Then on that fuel request, the second touch point is going to be sent a code to verify that he's requesting for the fuel. Then our fourth is approval. When the border rider dials the code, we have to first approve. We have a system of the admins. So the admins are going to prove that he's in our system. Then the fifth is the payment. Still, he'll dial the same code. And this time, the option is going to select is to repay back for the fuel he requested. Then our user flow is how are you requesting for fuel. You start, then you dial the code as earlier explained. Then we check for the phone number if you're in our system. If you're not, then we stop the whole process. You don't proceed. Then if you are, we are going to show you the menu and your request for fuel. Then we continue to see if you're active. If you're not, still we stop you. If you are, we are going to check if you have a pending loan. So if you have a pending loan, so you're not going to be able to request for fuel. My colleague will explain the data model.
Right, thank you. So the data, we are going to have some data concerning the users. Of course, we have the border people. We have our e-fuel agent who will be in charge of registering them. We have the administrators who are going to be on the web application side. Yeah, we shall have information concerning the fuel station, the bank account, because in most cases when you're buying fuel from these petrol stations, they always at least have the accounts, like banks, they put their transactions in. We are going to have data concerning payments, the stage, the fuel agent. As you can see, that's our data model. You can scroll to the last slide. Now, this is the use case. And of course, this system is going to have, as we said earlier on, it's going to have a mobile app and a web application. Web application is for the system administrator. Mobile app, it's for the agent. And also, we shall have a part of USSD. Dialing just codes as you do it when you're buying airtime on your phones or data. We shall also have that part for the border guys. So these are the use cases we have. For the e-fuel agent, who is in charge of registering border guys, the system would allow them to log in, register the station, register stages, and register the border users. For the border users, as we said, for them, they are going to just always use codes, SSD codes to carry out the process.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So the blender is on the use case, eh? You better learn some good fine art. Only that.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
The arrows you used, you picked. You see from the head, it goes up, then it... they are crossing each other. We are also still confused.
We shall rectify that. Thank you.
Round of applause for the good work. E-parking. And also, kindly always upload PowerPoints, because we could not comment on, we could not add comments on their PDF. It's easy for them also to forget. Okay, so always upload one. You have the ability to delete. Okay. We are confused at the beginning. So you start presenting. The lady stand this side, then the rest stand the other side. The lady. No, you stand. You stand. Let her then present.
Good morning. So this is Team eCare, sorry, e-parking, and this is our use case. In the use case, we have the actors who are the drivers, the attendants, and the administrator. So, and this is what they do with the system. The driver comes, then they deposit the money which is going to be used to buy the tokens. Then they view the tokens they have bought. Then they can also view the transactions they have made previously. They can also sign up so that they access the system. Then they can also scan the QR code to initiate the parking process. Then the attendant can also log in within the system. The attendant can also view the sessions that different drivers are making. Then also they can add, then the administrator can add the token packs. The administrator can also view the attendants who are along the streets. Then they can also add the attendants to work upon the drivers. Then administrator can also generate the reports.
Thank you. This is how our flowchart goes. The user comes here. The user in this case is a driver. He or she logs in, and it takes him to the check authentication. If the details he has put are not right, it prompts him to go again and put the right one. Then if he or she doesn't have the account, he goes to the register part. Then he can log in. When you log in, it takes you to the home page. The home page has the QR code. This QR code takes you to the check tokens. You have to check the tokens you have at hand. So if you don't have enough, you go to the deposit part. Or if you don't have the money at hand or on your mobile money, it takes you to the Moja Loop. The Moja Loop will help you to connect with the different DFCPs. Then you can buy the tokens in this case. Then if the process is okay, you can start the parking session. Then when you're done with what you are going to do, you can scan again, then the parking session is done.
All right, thank you. This is our model that shows the relationships between different users. For example, we have our users table that has the different users that are attributed to their roles. So the users table is our primary key before we can start doing anything, but we usually want to have the user roles before you can add something to the users table. So from the users table, we can still have the tables for tokens, payment, the transactions, notifications, parking spots, all that will be incorporated into our application. So these are our wireframes for the system, but I'll go through these ones very fast because we have a prototype to take to you, and we have limited time. So I run to the prototype part. Some mockups.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You can start with the wireframes, eh?
Wireframes. Okay.
And my comment there is really, which tool did you use? At first I thought it was a smartwatch.
A wireframe. This is a brief overview of the wireframes, but you have
it's
the
okay.
mockups.
I'm just asking you to improve it. Eh?
Oh, yeah,
yes.
I get it.
Okay, but you're going away before we even talk about a few things. For example, if you go to your use case, eh?
To our use case.
You can see that you're logging in at the last, I don't know if the user, the driver comes straight and they deposit before logging in.
I think a use case is a brief overview of the activities to be done by the parties. The flowchart shows the order, not the use case.
So that is why also the wireframe is a bit confusing, because you're trying to follow the order of the use case that came to your mind, which doesn't make logical sense. I think you just need to be organized in a certain way. We know it's just a representation, but the representation should lead me the straight way.
All right.
You don't just wake up and you first eat breakfast, then you brush your teeth.
Yes.
If you tell me that, then...
All right, we'll work on that.
All right.
Then our prototype.
It's okay. Those who are the identified, you can look for them in the comments. Eh?
All right.
Elite, thank you for that round of applause. You can tell that the noses are distracted, so you... Yes, the tables are organized already.
Good morning, everyone. This is Team L8. I'm going to begin with a use case diagram. We have two. Okay, we have the customer and the app master in the use case diagram. The customer, when the customer opens up an app, you sign in. If you don't have if you've not signed in before, you sign in. If you already have an account, you log in. After logging in, you view the properties. From the properties, if you find any property that you want, you add it to the cart. After that, you check out, and then upload the property. You upload the property to the cart, and then you check out. It's an error. Then you can make partial payments after that. And then the app master manages the property, manages the customer, and that manages the cart. The things you add to the cart is the app master that manages them. And then also approves payments, and then approves the landlords, approves the property. Then we go to the roadmap, customer roadmap. So the customer roadmap, it has phases. The first phase, activities performed. In the first phase, the customer wants to purchase the property. And the customer now is happy and excited. Of course, they want to check the property. They've downloaded the app, and they're excited to check for the property. Of course, they are happy. And then the customer expectations, availability of different property that suits their needs and financial capability. Then in the second phase, property search. The customer searches for the property listings. He's happy that they find numerous options in the app. And the expectations, easy navigation that makes property search less tiresome. The third phase, click on the property results. Post-search, customer first checks the ads, the properties that they come first. Then disappointed at first, as first ad results come up with no results. And then the expectations, no advertisement on the top search results. And in the fourth phase, checks listings again, tester phase. Then activities performed, searches again, and finds the right property that they came specifically to get. They are very happy. He finds the best property that suits their expectations in the listings. Then the customer expectations, up with an intuitive interface. Then we go to the fifth phase, evaluation. The activities done there opens, the customer opens to get the property details and makes comparisons in the different listings there. And then the emotions, the customer is happy, clicks on the property that suits their needs. Customer expectations, best property listings in the popular property listings. Because, for example, when you open the app, the properties that are searched most are the ones that come on top. So you never know if they are the best properties around town, maybe. And then the sixth phase is payment. The activity makes partial payments of preferred property. And the customer expectations here, numerous payment options and easy checkout process. I'll get my friend to take us through.
Okay, the data model, we have the...
Thank you so much. Phil, if you could give us a good customer roadmap.
Okay, so back to slide 3, I guess. Debt model could be data model, but something is missing. You mentioned categories of properties in your UI. I don't see it as a column in any way. You know, how are you going to track that? Then when you go to your UI, the app UI, why do we have the second page? That second page that is find you drew him home. When a user comes to your page, they would want to see welcome on board. Why do I have an extra page? Okay, it's just redundant, I would think so. Then again on the categories, do you see on the next page of your home, you highlight categories, and I would think you'd want like location as well for your properties, but that's not highlighted anywhere in data model. So just try to find the actual properties that you need, because this is quite like a summary. So just add the missing things are missing. So just fill in the gaps. But otherwise, well done. Perfect.
Actually, when someone logs in or when someone opens, the first page will be that one where you have the categories, which you put as second last. It does no impression if I log in and the first thing I'm being asked to is to find a home. What am I finding? I have no visual impression. I first see the fruit before I order. You can't tell me find fruits. All right, so you can refine it. I'll hand over to Charlotte to guide us.
Thank you so much, the teams that have presented so far. So our food has come early today, so we're going to break off, have lunch for an hour, then have the next sessions, and we're going to resume at 3, okay? But what we do need is to have a one-on-one with the teams, okay? Especially for those that have some bit of issues here and there. Or if you're not so sure about your progress so far, okay? We're going to be at the back waiting for you to come. Everybody has an issue. Everybody does, okay? Some, it's a little bit of refinement. Others, it's major. So just find some time to have a one-on-one with us. Nice lunch.
Thank you so much, our dear facilitators. So now we are going to have our lunch. We have to eat very fast. We are students, remember? We are students, so we take our lunch first and come back. And as we go for our lunch, let us also be on our social media, because this is also level 1 project. And also don't forget to go live on our streamlining. You stream live on HiPipo TV. I shared the link already. The photos have been shared. So let us start from here. All our work should be in a PowerPoint format. And if you have any issues uploading your work to the folder, please let me know in time. If you have any issues, kindly reach out in time.